Welcome, Brooklyn Squad. How's everybody doing? Let me just move this. Hi, everybody. What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I hope that everybody is doing great today because today I have a reaction video that I am giving you guys. I'm giving you ladies because it's mostly ladies that join me. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's been a minute. I haven't been live. It hasn't been that long, but it's been a minute due to some complications of health. But your girl is back. Your girl is back. So let's get into some things. I want to also show you ladies another video, but I'm debating on it right now for certain reasons, but I think I can pull it off. But today we are doing a reaction video on something that I saw, and I was like, oh my God, another psycho doing some crazy shit and putting it on the internet. Here we go again. Hey, Julie. Hey, love. How are you? How are you? How are you? So, y'all, let's get into it. I'm going to need y'all to hit that thumbs up and please share this video. I do want to give some shout outs. And if you are not following me on Newsbreak, what are y'all waiting for? Y'all, let me tell y'all, I'm on Newsbreak, y'all, and we're gonna get into that whole thing also. But your girl is on Newsbreak. Julie, I reached out to you to check on you. I hope that you are doing better. I know that you lost a best friend of yours, and I send my truly condolences. I did FaceTime call you. I don't know, I wanted to see how you're doing. That's when you first told me about it, but I hope that you're healing. Grieving is not easy and it does take some time, but your girl is here for you. I know sometimes when I'm grieving, I don't want to be bothered with nobody. So I get that. Trust me, I get that. But I just wanted to make sure you was okay. Let me put something on Newsbreak so you guys can follow me. You gotta follow me on Newsbreak, please. Like, I am choosing to be all over. Shout out to Unsolved who told me about Newsbreak, okay? When he told me about it, baby, I tell you, I made no mistakes. And I went on and did what I had to do. You know, your girl play no games. And let me tell you about Newsbreak. They share your stuff. Okay. And the likes and the follows that I get is just amazing. So I'm just like, this one video, they shared it 46 times. Just amazing. Just amazing. 90.2K views on it. Wow. Wow. Who would ever figure, right? You're in here, Princess. Hi, Princess. Give my girl a shout out. Hey, Princess. She's like, I'm in here. So that's Newsbreak. I see you, boo. Let me just yeah, we're doing a reaction video today. I was gonna do it at 8 o'clock tonight, but y'all know when I go live at nighttime, I start being on here forever with y'all. And then I don't get sleep and I got to get up early tomorrow because I got to take Dave. I'm going with Dave to the doctor. And then I got to go take this laptop to get looked at because it's been acting up. And then I have an interview tomorrow at 8 o'clock with the mother. So join me tomorrow at 8 o'clock, okay? Because we do have an interview. A mother's daughter has been missing for years. And she thinks her daughter has been trafficked. So that's going to be a deep one. Join me tomorrow at 8. I see you, Mary and Tate. Hey, boo. Hey, boo. Hey. Yeah, I haven't been feeling good. That's why I haven't been live. That's why I have not been live. I have not been feeling good. Yeah. Not feeling good at all. She always say, "Thank you, Brooklyn, for all you do." You're welcome, Mama. I wish I could do more, but I try my best. All right, so let's get into this. Did I put my girl Princess here? Okay, I did. All right. So y'all, this is over here. Oh, my girl Katie. Let me put her up here. Hey, Katie with the baby. Y'all know if I haven't reached out to Katie out of all people and Princess a lot, I've been sick. Okay, because I'm always reaching out to Katie. And me and Princess just connected, and I'm usually reaching out to her too. But if I don't reach out to them, and even Kathy B, then your girl is sick. So that's why I haven't been on live. I have not been feeling good. But your girl's back. Your girl's back. But let's get into this case, y'all. Let's get into it. 24, this is a reaction video. Yeah, I know you've been having migraines. Yeah. This is a reaction video. So we're going to play the whole video because we have another man on a warpath. And then he went live. Just listen to this and then we're going to get into it. 24 years old man to believe have went on live and did some horrible things. I don't want to give it away, so I'm trying to watch what I say. On Sunday, police say officers responded about 4:30 p.m. Sunday to a report of an active shooting at the apartment in 9800 block of Summerwood Circle. As they approached the building, someone fired at the shattering windows of the squad car. Squad car backed off and called for backup, okay? The officers took a cover and called for the SWAT. Police did not discharge their weapons. That's strange. Like Cardi B say, that's strange. They didn't discharge their weapons. That's different. But they did call for backup. Officers set up a premiere and made several attempts to get the gunman to surrender. Police say they entered the apartment about 7 p.m. And the rest, I'm going to show you what happened. First victim, his girlfriend, Marietta Matthews, and her mother was in the apartment. This happened on a Monday. The mother's name was Tamiko Mary Weathers. She was 55 years old. And her daughter's name was Mariette Weathers, 26 years old. The suspect name was Nathaniel Rashard James, Nathaniel Rashard James Matthews, 24 years old, who was in a relationship with Marietta, the girlfriend. Now let's get into this. We got 6 people in here. I'm trying not to give it out. I know I have to take care of myself. Hey, Kathy B, baby. So let's get into this video. Shout out to Gritty. Gritty always comes in my chat. So this is her video. I'm going to put her link. I want y'all to go and show her love. Subscribe to her channel if you like it. And say, Brooklynsquad, send me over here. Let's get into it.
Crazy dog. Crazy dog. I'm sick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's crazy dog.
Marietta Matthews was a beautiful, intelligent, and hardworking girl who found herself in a dangerous situation after getting involved with someone who made her life a living nightmare. She tried to get away from him, but he would not let her. The situation would end in tragedy with her and her mom losing their lives at the hands of her unhinged boyfriend. And as if that's not already horrifying the boyfriend posted a video on social media showing the gruesome scene. But what really happened? Why did Nathan James kill Marietta and her mother? Let's explore the tragic case. Marietta Marie Matthews was a beautiful, bright, and social 25-year-old who had her whole life ahead of her. She was born in Dallas, Texas on June 6, 1994.
Yes,
her parents were Tamiko Merriweather, a nurse, and Michael Matthews, a businessman. She had two younger brothers, Michael Jr. and Marcus. Those who knew Marietta described her as being a very smart and ambitious young woman who loved music, dancing, and fashion. She graduated from Skylina High School in 2012, where she was said to be very popular and outgoing. She excelled in both academics and extracurricular activities and received several awards and scholarships. Marietta attended the University of Central Missouri, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical and Electronics Engineering in 2018. According to her LinkedIn and Facebook profile, Marietta enrolled at Southern New Hampshire University in 2020 and was pursuing her master's degree in engineering management in hopes of graduating in 2022. From her Facebook, it seems like Marietta also had a hairstyling business going on called Styles by Mari. She also worked part-time as a nanny to supplement her income. The future seemed to be very bright for Marietta, and she was on her way to achieving major goals in life. Sadly, this would be derailed when she started dating 24-year-old Nathan Rashad James. Nathan was also a former student at the University of Central Missouri. He appeared to have been a football player at one point, though it's not clear if he played for UCM. There isn't a lot of information about Nathan's past, but some reports say that he had a history of substance abuse and violence, and had several previous arrests and convictions for assault, robbery, and possession of firearms. Nathan and Marietta met somewhere around 2019, and their relationship was toxic and turbulent from the word go.
So this is a guy already who was one of those boyfriends that your mama say stay away from, but one of those men, those thugs that we really are attractive to. And I get that, because in her age, or even younger than her, I was like that as well. I was always attracted to them thugs. But you know, back in the days, your mama say, them thugs ain't them ones that you want to be attracted to. You don't want them, girl. They trouble. These were the trouble men. He was already arrested. He was already doing bad things. He was already addicted to drugs. He was already in the jail. But he was in school. So he had a good opportunity to change his life around. But did he? Let's see.
According to friends and family, Nathan was really controlling and abusive towards Marietta and would often get physically violent with her and humiliate her in public. He also tried to keep her away from her family and friends. This was really hard for Marietta, who was close to her family, especially her mom, Tamiko Merriweather. Tamiko was described as a kind and compassionate woman who helped those in need. She became a registered nurse and worked at the Parkland Hospital for over 20 years. She specializes in neonatal care and has saved many lives of premature babies. Tamiko was also a devoted mother to her 3 children, whom she raised with a lot of love and care. She was also a devout Christian and attended New Life Fellowship Church. Marietta and Tamiko had a loving mother-daughter relationship with Marietta and often hung out together, going shopping, to the spa, or watching movies. Tamiko didn't like her daughter's relationship with Nathan, whom she thought was a dangerous and unstable person who didn't deserve her daughter's love. He cheated on her with multiple women and had even gotten one of them pregnant. Whenever Marietta tried to break up with him, he would find a way to manipulate her into going back with him. Tamiko feared for her daughter's safety, but she didn't know how to help her get out of this situation. On Sunday, February 7th, 2021, Tamiko decided to go over to her daughter's apartment, hoping to check on her and to convince her to leave Nathan once and for all. She packed some food and some clothes for her and drove to the apartment. Tragically, she never came home. At around 4:30 p.m. that evening, police responded responded to a call about an active shooter in the 9800 block of Summerwood Circle in Dallas.
Oh, no.
As the officers approached the apartment building, the shooter, later identified as Nathan James, began firing at them, even hitting one of the squad cars. The officers were forced to back off and immediately called for the SWAT. When the SWAT
So here we go. Domestic violence. A woman who went there, she obviously went there to probably try to get her stuff so she could leave him. And or I don't know, she didn't make it out. What's going on here? Or was that her apartment? She said, I like listening and walking around. You be doing stuff when you listen, and we got you, girl. It's okay. So I'm trying to figure out, was this her? This must have been her and her mother's apartment. And did he invade their apartment?
SWAT arrived at the scene. They made several attempts to get Nathan to surrender, but he refused. The standoff lasted for several hours, with authorities reporting, "It does not appear that any officers discharged their weapons, nor were there any officers injured." At around 7 p.m., the SWAT was able to enter the apartment, and what they discovered was truly horrifying. Inside the apartment, officers found 2 women and a man dead with bullet wounds. At first, investigators did not release their identities to the public, but through social media, the bodies were identified as those of Marietta and her mom, Tamiko. It appeared that Nathan had killed the 2 women with a semi-automatic shotgun and then went live on Instagram to confess. In the chilling footage, the killer was seen screaming and pacing while yelling he was sorry and that he tried to leave.
Oh my God, bro.
So that was the mother and daughter's apartment. Or was he there?
Sell online
Why
and
was
grow
he
your
there?
business with Wix
He went
e-commerce.
there to visit?
Create a
Crazy dog. Crazy dog on the stick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's crazy dog.
At one point, Nathan panned the camera to Tamiko's body, who was still breathing by then. She was seen slumped on the couch, covered in red, as she gripped on her phone. When Nathan saw that she was still alive, he told his viewers, "Oh, she's here. Call 911 again. Somehow she's still breathing." He then walked over to his dead girlfriend's body lying on a red puddle and called out to her, "Baby." In another part of the video, the weapon was seen on the couch next to Tamiko's body. As Nathan shouted, "I had to protect my life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Nathan then grabbed Marietta's face by her chin, and you could see that her left eye was blasted out of her head. Another portion of the video showed Nathan holding the weapon as he walked around the room before ultimately ending his life. All 3 people were pronounced dead at the scene, and police began an investigation to figure out what happened. They collected the murder weapon, along with Nathan's phone and laptop. They also interviewed all the people who knew the couple, including neighbors, friends, family members, and co-workers. From the interviews, they learned that Nathan had a history of mental illness and substance abuse, and that he had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. They also learned that Nathan had been abusive and violent towards Marietta, and that he had threatened to kill her and her mother before. Nathan also had a pregnant girlfriend who was unaware of his relationship with Marietta.
Okay, wait a minute. We're going to have to stop and talk about this because this brings me back a flashback. Whoa, okay. And it's not just me. I don't know if anybody could identify with this, but schizophrenic, bipolar, and alcohol, drugs, or whatever don't go hand to hand. I was with a man who was all 3. Years ago. And that was the same man who held me hostage for those 9 hours and beat on me to death. He was schizophrenic, he was bipolar, and he was not taking his medication, and he was a pothead. He drunk also, but not as much as he smoked a lot of weed. But he was not taking his medication. This motherfucker would stand in a corner and talk to herself. Me thinking I was his psychiatrist, thinking I was a therapist, thinking I could help him, I would give him my damn psych meds. Because he stopped taking his psych meds like years before I met him. And that's the same man, the same boy, who held me hostage for those 9 hours and beat on me. That's why my back is messed up. That's why it took me years to grow my hair back. Because of the abuse, because him grabbing the hair, banging my head on the wall, banging my head on the ground, kicking me with them boots. Let me tell you something. Those motherfuckers are the wrong one to be playing with. Yes, the alcohol, yes. But him not taking your medication is wrong, period. Because you could be clean, right? You could not have no alcohol and no weed, right? But if you schizophrenic and bipolar and you not taking your medication, is a bomb itself. It is a bomb itself. And let me tell you, even if you smoking weed and when you don't have the marijuana because you are addicted to it, it is also a bomb itself. Because see, people don't think you can get addicted to marijuana, but I tell you that's a lie. Because I was once addicted to it. I used to sell my knickknacks out my house just to get the shit. So I know for a fact, right? And that's before I did the hard drugs in my life, okay? So all that, right, goes into play. It is a recipe for disaster. Yes, when they all have schizophrenic, they are hallucinating. Yes. He would sit there together. Together. He would sit there and talk to himself. And I used to be like, "Who you talking to?" And he'd be like, "Nobody." But he would be talking to himself. I didn't know that when I first got with him. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I was with him for like a year. And then unfortunately, of course, I knew because he was at my house all the time. But me being the nice girl, I would try to take care of him. But that motherfucker he became obsessive behavior. Like this guy, and paranoid. When I would go to my NA meetings, he would think that the men were looking at me or the meetings were taken away from him. It was just too much. And he was just girl, it was too much. I could tell you a story, child. Let me tell you something. Too much. Yeah. He became very obsessive, looking out the window. I take a cab home from the meeting and he'd be like, "Who that nigga driving you home?" I'd be like, "It's a cab." "Oh, nah, that's that nigga. Yeah, I'ma shoot that nigga." Like, yo, it became a time where I saw his text message and he was telling his friends from Manhattan to give him a gun to bring to my house. It was bad. He was bugging out, yeah. He kept me hostage for 8-9 hours, girl. Beat the hell out of me. Because I asked him to go back to the city and give us some space. Because he was at my house too much. He was overprotected. It was just too much. I'm not the type of person to like be covered over too much. He was at my house like, he would come like, say he would come in January and he'll stay for like to March. Girl, go the fuck. Man, go home. You've been here 2 months. Don't you have a home to go? Like, child. Especially when it was just overbearing. He was a nice person too. Like, he would give me money. I get my hair done. My nails was always done. He would help me pay for stuff. But it was just very abusive too. He was like, it was a lot. It was a lot. I had to take classes while employees who had to do visual examinations to see what the clients went through. Oh, wow. It was so deep. Some of us had to sit with the therapist after. Wow. 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 It's a lot. It's a lot. We should do a thing on that though. We really should, because a lot of people don't know, like, schizophrenia, depression, even anxiety, even panic attacks, bipolar. Because I suffer with a depression, anxiety, panic attacks. And I don't take no medicine like I'm supposed to. So when I'm in my depression lead, that's probably why y'all don't even see me on live sometimes. And I am supposed to take my medicine. Yeah, I got you. Right now. Right there, mama. Drop the link. Drop the link. Drop the link. I hope it's working, this link, because I tried to drop the link for Unsolved the other day, and he said he couldn't. It is working. So why he couldn't get up here then? See, it is working. Because I tried to drop it for Unsolved, and he said it wasn't working. That's weird. Hey, mama.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that when I was working for the Department of Mental Health, they had like these assimilations that you had to do because a lot of times people don't understand what happens when a person is in full psychosis mode, is what they call it. And so what happened is we put the eye goggle things on and then we put the ear things on. So it was like we were totally detached from anything that was in the room. So one of the simulations that I had to do was I was a schizophrenic person that ordered a pizza. Now they showed me the pizza with my normal eye. And they said, now this is the pizza with the person that has schizophrenia. And when first I opened the box with the normal eye,
Right.
and they said close it, and you had to do the hand motions also so you can seem like you're really opening the box. If you didn't do anything, nothing would happen. So then I opened the box as the normal person that I am, as we call it. We're not all normal.
Right.
And then the person with schizophrenia, I opened it and it was filled with worms and maggots, and I threw the box and I was like, oh my God. And so all kinds of stuff. I was hearing people talking out and they got loud. I was like, shut up. And I screamed and I threw the ear thing off and I freaked out so bad that the therapist had to grab me. We were all crying because we finally got a chance.
To
I
see
forgot the
what they
name of
go
the
through.
company. Yeah, I finally got a chance to see what they literally go through. And a lot of people are like, and so the phone rang. They were like, you okay? You okay? So I did it the next day. The phone rang. And while the phone rang, my voices were talking to me like, don't tell them too much. They're going to try to get you this, and this, like just off the wall stuff. And the voices were getting louder and it was drowning out. And then it was another scene, and I'm talking about over multiple days. So it wasn't all at once because nobody could take that at once if that's not something that's normal. So
Right.
the following day after that, so now this is day 3. Remember, first day I threw the things off and freaked out, right? Second day I was getting a phone call and the voices were so overpowering I couldn't hear. The third day is when my sister, it's the video, not my sister. My sister and my family was sitting there talking to me, and all of a sudden their faces turned into demons and were
Oh
just
shit.
contorting into different things. And I was freaking out, and the therapist was just tapping me on the leg to let me know that that's not
It's not
reality.
real.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So if she hadn't done any type of stimulation while I was looking at it, I probably would have really freaked out for real. But these people have real life situations. You could be sitting there and you could be talking to your husband and he'll turn into a demon or something and you'll freak out. So the medication, a lot of people that are schizophrenic A lot of times it's not from birth, people. It could have been that, let's say me and Miss Brooklyn were driving in a car and someone hit our car and I got messed up and Brooklyn got messed up, right? So a trauma happened that scared us. Now we have a trauma. And so it could turn into depression, it could turn into schizophrenia, it could turn into bipolar, anything that's traumatic, even when you have kids that have been touched forcibly by an adult or someone when they didn't give consent. This is your channel, I have to respect it. When it wasn't consent given and it was a violent situation,
PTSD.
kids will get either PTSD, bipolar, they'll either become schizophrenic or manic or major depression. You know what I'm saying? So when it's a trauma, all types of mental health, your brain is no longer in balance. So to me, I feel like people that say, "Oh, y'all normal," no, we got
No.
issues too. We got
Yep.
issues
I
too.
got PTSD.
I actually have it too. I actually watched a friend of mine get shot down in front of me,
Oh, I'm
and
so sorry.
he didn't make it, and it really triggered me. And I never had to deal with that kind of stuff before, but it triggered me. And then not only once, it happened a few times.
Oh my God.
Wrong place, wrong time. And that's why I say people with these weapons, you're the problem, not the weapon. The weapon is not going to dislodge until someone picks it up.
That's right.
And
That's right.
that's the thing. And that's the part I'm saying. You're taking away my ability to protect myself, but a pow pow ain't gonna do nothing to you if it's just sitting there by itself.
That's right.
Well, if it was that way, if they got up by themselves, we all be gone.
Right.
Come on now.
Let me ask you, when you did that assignment, how did you feel after that?
I was nauseous after the completion of it. Like
those days and months after,
yeah, I
complete.
suffered for a very long. It triggered my PTSD. It triggered my anxiety. I became depressed. Um, it did a lot to me. And so after that, like a few of the people we didn't know, but it brought back old traumas that we thought we buried away. And so we ended up like having to seek counseling for real, because that was very traumatic.
Yeah.
I was regurgitating. I didn't want to eat. I was crying like all the time because it affected me so bad. It's
Gave me
like
chills,
I
girl.
didn't know. And a lot of the other people, like the nurses that were seasoned in it, they already knew, they already experienced, they were well seasoned in this, and we were seasoned too, but not to that point. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
would go into the jails. I would go into like Skid Row. I would go into the homes. I would go into places. It's called IMD, and that's when they have them. Sometimes they'll have like the mental facility underneath the hospital or in a totally different wing, separate from the regular hospital. And I would have to go in there, assess them, and I would have to do a lot of work to see, if they qualified for the program. And so it was stressful with that, because that was a lot of work. Then I would have to sit before a big old giant meeting with all these big people, and then I would have to plead their case. So it was a lot of work, and
It's a lot.
that's why they would tell us to do self-care on the weekends. They're like, do self-care, do self-care. But you're so exhausted, like, oh my God, dealing with people that are having real life mental breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they have all types, and then they want to share their story. What I even had cutters, that
Mm.
wouldn't tell you, but they would lock themselves in and cut, and you would see their blood coming from underneath the door. I mean, it was so much stuff that these people go through, and people make jokes about it. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's not
saying, just
funny.
because that dude, if he was suffering with a mental illness, he probably felt like he did have to defend himself, because what's to say that, let's say he's bipolar schizophrenic, right? And I'm not giving him an excuse. So after what I told you about the assimilation, right?
Mm.
Let's let's say that
Yeah.
he was
He probably
looking at
saw
things, and
that.
he was probably pleading his case, baby, please don't leave. Mom comes in and she turns into a demon, and he
Right.
like, oh my God. And then the girlfriend
Ooh.
turns into a demon, and like they're coming after you. And what does he do? He,
He is,
you
she's,
know, but
yeah.
that's still no excuse. But
But I see where you go.
unless,
Yeah. That's,
yeah, so
wow.
sometimes that's what happens. And if they're that sick, they need to be locked into a mental jail facility where they have to stay there and serve their time out, yet at the same time get the appropriate medication. And because they're not safe for society, because if you give them medication, they can stop going to the doctor, they can
Mhm.
become non-med compliant again, and then they can turn around and do the same thing. So they need to be in a place. Hold on, sorry for bothering you. I want to
No, you
offer
good.
oh,
You
no,
good.
they was talking. Somebody
Oh, shoot. I didn't even see that.
put a
I'm so
thing there.
into what you were saying.
Sorry about that.
Hello, sorry for the bothering you. I wanted to, I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, because we live on Twitch. So I don't know why Twitch be doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
so
I don't know what that is.
so yes, I had to do all that kind of stuff. And let's say that is something that could have happened to him. You know, he could have seen them transform into something that was
Mm-hmm.
scary, gory, horrible,
Oh,
or his voices could have told him, oh, there, and those voices, they are loud, like as loud as we're talking. Those voices overpower the natural tone of your voice, so they cannot hear you. And I'm not making excuses, but I'm just telling you, it is a very, very, very scary situation when you have somebody that's bipolar, schizophrenic, manic, depressive, all that stuff. That's very, very scary,
yes, it is.
very scary. And if you
Have you
ever get
ever,
an opportunity, huh?
go ahead. I want to ask you, have you ever heard of shock therapy treatment?
Yes, I had a client
I
that
did.
did shock
I did
therapy.
it before.
That is the worst. That is the worst. That
It
is the
didn't work.
absolute worst. Oh my God, that stuff is the
It
worst
it didn't
because
do shit for me,
we would
girl.
take, it didn't do nothing for her. We took her in. It's a well-known doctor. It begins with a P. What's his name? Dr. Pensky. Dr. Pensky. He was a well-known doctor. He is a well-known psychiatrist. He was giving my client shock treatments. She would come out, and for a few days, she would not be aware of
Yep.
certain things, and
Mm-hmm.
she threw away her diamond wedding ring, and I was
Okay.
looking for it. I couldn't find it anywhere,
Yeah, because
nowhere.
you lose
Her
sometimes.
husband,
You come out and you lose your memory. You don't remember sometimes.
no,
You know
she
what I
threw it.
mean?
No, she threw it in the trash because she was freaked out. I
Oh,
came to work one day, and I knocked on the door, and her husband was in the back, and she drew a big butcher knife on me and was gonna stick me with it. Then, because I had my whole uniform on, because I did a house visit. And
oh,
so
I'm
I
about to say, where
called.
did she get a butcher
I
knife
was
from?
calling. I was. She went in the kitchen. And I don't know where she got it from.
Well, she was
So
at
her
home.
husband.
You did a house call.
She
That's
was
why
at
I was
home.
okay.
So her husband was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, she said some words, and I was kind of upset about it. But then her husband called the police because he was like, "Yeah, we got to hospitalize her. That shock treatment didn't
Um,
work. It made her." He was giving her Wellbutrin and all this stuff. None of that stuff was working. What was Zoloft?
I had that too.
Uh, what's it called? It begins with a P. Oh, I forgot. It begins with a,
Paxil? Paxil?
no, it's a different word. It's a psychiatric medicine. I forgot the name. It
Pax,
begins with a P.
Paxil.
Prozac. Prozac.
Oh, Prozac. Prozac.
Prozac. Yeah, he was giving her
I love
Prozac.
it.
He was giving her so many different I can't say the name. Is I can't even remember. But the police ended up coming. I had my full uniform on, and she was saying that I tried to break in. Her husband was afraid. He didn't want to go near her. So they were able to disarm
Wow.
her without hurting her. And the paramedics came, they put her back in the hospital. She was just messed up.
Yeah,
She
they
she
said it
was
could make you worse. I've had 3 of them
it
done.
was far worse. It was, I think she had some dementia, and they treated it as though it was a mental illness. And
What?
I think that, yes, that's what I really think. That's what I really think. She had dementia,
Oh
and they
no.
treated it as a mental illness because the way she acted, and versus people that have dementia, she
Who
was
was
showing
that?
signs of dementia. Yeah. And so I guess that doctor, like, because they were very,
Oh,
very wealthy. The family was very
mm.
wealthy,
It
and the
was
doctor
it,
was
it
really
was
making a lot of money. Yeah.
wow.
And he would pay cash for her hospital stays and stuff like that, the
That's
balance of whatever
crazy.
was left. So it was just crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's messed
that
up.
is crazy, Katie. I mean, I went through a lot. That's why when I hear people, one thing that triggers me is when people say, I'm 5150. I'm 5150. And I'm like, stop saying that shit. Excuse my language. Stop saying that. 5150 is a 3-day hold for anybody that has a mental health episode, someone that freaks out, breaks down, goes berserk, and does not have medication in their system, have not been monitored, have not been checked up on by a doctor. So you saying you're 5150, you are saying that you are a 3-day mental health hold. That is stupid.
I was
Why
gonna
would you
say,
even?
doesn't that mean like you are really out whacked out, like out not
No,
whacked out, but
no, that
really
means
having
it's
a really
no, no, it's a three
no?
day, it's a 3-day when they come get you. And if you're in a full episode, let's say you just freaked out for no reason,
Right,
your husband calls the police. The police calls the paramedics. You go to the hospital. You're still freaking out. They're gonna put you on a 3-day hold to evaluate you, find out if what type of medications you need, or if you ever took medication. They're
right.
gonna do the whole thing. It doesn't mean that you're whacked out. It's a 3-day hold to evaluate you. They medicate you and they pay attention to you for 3 days.
I
Now,
didn't
if
mean to
you're
say
not
whacked out. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but
I
if
meant
you're
to
not
say
doing
like if you're really like having a
episode,
breakdown.
yeah, if you had a really bad episode, they will
Yeah,
take you in for 3 days and see if you're not seeing an outside doctor, if you don't have outpatient services, they will treat you within the hospital on the other ward where the psychiatric area is. And so once they check you out for like 3 days and they'll look at you, evaluate you, talk to you, if you're
they
still
do it
not doing
different.
well, they will extend your hold.
Oh, they do it different. Because when I was in the psychiatric, so I guess that's something different. Because when I was in the psychiatric hospital, they just hold you down there for like that night, and then they bring you to the psychiatric part.
I mean, they
Yeah, that
can
was
take you to
different.
the emergency, but they have an
Yeah,
emergency.
yeah.
But it depends on what's going on with you. If you are totally
Gotcha.
belligerent, they will
Oh,
remove you
okay.
from the emergency and take you straight to the psychiatric ward. So that's how it normally works. But if you are not doing well, they will keep you, and the more they see you, the longer your stay will be. So, but the 5150 initially, what we were referring to, is
Right.
a 3-day mental health hold slash evaluation to get you back compliant with all your medications. If you are on any, if you're not, then they will put you on medications and then have you follow up with a psychiatric doctor. So that's
Gotcha.
what that is. And that's why I get tired of people saying that. You're saying that you are a hold. And it sounds good, but you sound ignorant,
Gotcha.
especially for people that worked in that field. So yeah, so that their goal is to get you compliant
Get
with
you
your
back
medication.
stable. Right.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
have outpatient services to follow up with you so that you'll have someone that you could, and a lot of times depending on the services, like here in California, you can go and get into an outpatient mental health. They will have a 24-hour nurse that's on call for your particular what do you call it, program that you get into.
Hmm.
um they have nurses that'll come out and give you medications, and they have like case workers that'll take you shopping, take you on outings, do different things with you, help
Yeah.
you find place to live, all types of
Oh, they
stuff.
got that up
So
here. Yeah. It's called
yes,
RSS, and independent living and stuff like that.
Yeah, they do all that. Yeah, they do all
They
that
have
for
your rent,
to help you. But you
stuff like that.
absolutely,
Yeah.
if you are the type of person that you're by yourself and
Mhm.
you get hospitalized a lot, then that the program that you may choose will try to get conservatorship over you so that they'll make sure that you are safe,
Mhm.
where you are. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah, they do that up here. Yeah. And they also help you with housing.
yeah,
Um,
all that stuff.
yeah, they pay some of your rent because I'm in one of those
No,
programs.
they don't pay your rent. What they do is
Oh, up here is
they'll pay
different.
your rent. They'll pay your rent, and if you have Social Security, you're waiting, then you have to pay that back to the program
Oh, okay, it's
because
different
it
up
has
here.
to turn. Yeah, it has to flip around for the next person that's coming in that may be indigent. That's what they call it when you have no money. Indigent
Oh,
means you have
okay.
no money, no funds, no medication, no nothing. So the program kicks in, pays for it. Once you get your lump sum, all that money goes back into the pot what they use to help you.
Oh, okay. It's different up
Yeah,
here.
so and
They
then
have
you get a P&I every time you get a check, they give you an allowance. But what they do is they take your money, they pay your rent, they pay your utilities and all this stuff with your money, and they show you how to do it to make you more independent. They keep you
independent.
medication compliant. Yes, yes. And
Hmm.
you can stay on that program for years. It doesn't matter.
Hmm.
But it's been a success for a lot of people.
It's something like that where I live at, but see, they have two options. They have something like that, like you said, and then they
Mhm.
have something similar to like I'm more independent, right? So I
Mhm.
don't need a roommate. I could live on my own.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like they have those options too, but the one that I'm in, they actually pay some of your rent. They pay some of
Oh,
your
okay,
rent.
okay.
Yeah, they pay some of your rent. They have a caseworker that comes out and, like you said, checks on you and stuff like that once a month, and things like that. So it's pretty cool. But you don't have to pay it out of like give it to them back. Like they actually, pay some of your rent. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that'll
Yeah,
work.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that saying all that, people are like, "What? They just went on a tangent." No, we're circling back around to the fact that this young man suffered from a mental illness. This is
Mental
why it
illness.
all ties together, and me
Hmm.
explaining and her explaining. So when you have people that truly have mental illnesses, and sometimes Miss Brooklyn, what really makes me angry, and I'm sure it does you as well, when someone commits a crime, the family say, "Oh, this person has a mental illness," but there is no record.
Record of it. Yeah.
No record. So are you using that as a scapegoat?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will use that. I'm 5150. Okay, so that means you have no record. You don't have any idea what is going on in the world of mental health, because you wouldn't say that if you had a true mental illness. You would
Right.
never say I'm 5150. You would say I have schizophrenia, I have bipolar, I
Right. I have
have depression,
depression.
I'm
Mhm.
manic depressive. You would name your depression, your mental illness. You wouldn't call yourself a 3-day mental health hold. And
Right. I
that's
still
what makes
wouldn't.
it different. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Right.
would say what
Exactly.
you have. You won't be coming up with these words trying to sound smart. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes me angry when people commit crimes like, forcibly pushing themselves up on you and taking away your right to say no, I don't want to do that, or they commit
Mm.
some type of crime. The first thing, oh, he has a mental illness. Well, show me the proof that he has
Right.
a mental illness. Let's not use that as an excuse. Now let's say that the family used that as an excuse to say he has a mental illness, and later on, as you dig in, which I know you're going to do,
I was
you
gonna
find
say
out
that. Wow. Mm-hmm.
he never had a mental illness in the
Mm-hmm.
first place. You
I
get
was
what
gonna
I'm
say I'm gonna
saying?
dig into this. We're gonna do a part two on this because I want to find out if he actually had, yeah.
Right. And there
I was
needs
gonna
to be
say
a
that.
paper trail. Even if he went
Mm-hmm.
to go see somebody one time and he walked away and never sought out help, that's enough to say, okay, this
That's
is a
right.
person that had been documented to have a mental illness, but he never went back to seek other services. Yeah,
That's
that I can understand. But if we look in your record and see nothing, then you're
nothing.
using that as a scapegoat. But that
That's,
doesn't mean you're still gonna have to pay for your sins.
yeah, that's right. I agree. That's wow. It's a very good conversation. I'm glad you came up here. Yeah,
Thank you. I like
because
coming
I
over
learned
here.
something I had no idea about. Oh my God, like what were you was talking about that? That gave me chills. That's why I asked you, like, how did you feel dealing with
Sick.
that,
It made
having to
you
see
nauseous. It
that?
makes you, yeah. You know
Ooh,
what? If I was like to run that program, you would be mad at me because I would tell you no. I would be like, no, no, I can't let you do it because I see how sensitive and how caring you are and how you let your guards down because you're a person
yeah, I
you love
couldn't.
hard. When somebody treats you good, you love them back. But if they
Yeah,
dog you, you're gonna get them out your circle quick. So I couldn't let you look at nothing like that because it would really mess you up,
probably
and
had
I
me like,
wouldn't.
mm,
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I would. It wouldn't sit well with me, knowing that I let you look at something like that and you're suffering. No, I'd
yeah.
go through it.
I give you your flowers because wow, whew, that's a
Yeah,
lot. And you know
that
that
was
made me also
horrible.
see the guy that I was with, like he was going through that. You know what I mean? Because he
Yeah,
sure
because
was.
he was probably fighting whatever was going on within him, his mental illness. He wasn't really, to me, not giving him an excuse. I wouldn't say it to minimize what he did,
No,
but
yeah,
because he was non-med compliant and he had issues, as you said, he wasn't seeing you. He probably was seeing demons and wanted to. No natural man would do that to a woman unless he just plumb nuts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's probably because of his mental illness, non-compliant with medication,
yep,
drinking, using marijuana,
yep,
and all that stuff in combination. That
right,
is a daggone bomb waiting to explode, and you happen to get the part of the dynamite that decided to explode. But if
and
he was on his medication, I really don't believe he would have done any of that to you.
right. That's what his sister said when he was on his medication. He's not like that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think that if he was the type of person that would have stayed on this medication and did all the things that he needed to do, you would have never in your life experienced that. You would be healthy, you'd be well, you wouldn't have back issues, you wouldn't be getting sick, having headaches, getting dizzy spells. You wouldn't get none of that.
And he went through. He had did something to another person like that. Like, but it was like in a fight. It wasn't like the way we had it. Like, yo, I was in a relationship, but he had like beat up some man like really, really bad. You know what I mean? Like a blackout type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was,
His mental illness,
yeah, yeah. Before he
because
had
he
mm-hmm.
probably saw the man as something total. When I tell you, I couldn't even begin to express what I saw in those virtual glasses. It was the most horrific, ugliest thing you could ever see in your life coming at you, and all you could do is swing.
Whew,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
wow.
So it was. I wouldn't
Thank
wish
you
that
for
on nobody.
sharing. Thank you for sharing
Hmm?
it with us a lot. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Because it actually not well, I'm gonna speak for myself. It gives me insight on a lot also. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
gonna drop down. I just wanted to share that tidbit with you. When it
Thank
comes to
you.
mental illness, I always try to advocate and let people know that it is real.
It sure
And I
is.
thank you. Yeah, and I thank you for allowing me on your platform
Of
again.
course.
I appreciate
Anytime.
you.
You know, you
Keep
could come up
doing
here
this good
anytime, girl.
job. You do
Sure.
such an amazing job. I'm gonna give you your flowers now. You do such an
Aw,
amazing job. You could tell the
thank
difference
you.
from if I don't know how many people in the chat right now.
I don't know. It says 5, but
Out
sometimes
of the
when we
5
get
people
off.
in the chat, if you guys would please, if you agree with me that she's more compassionate than a lot of the other people that cover these types of stories, put a 1 in the chat because I
Thank
mean, they
you.
do it for the clicks, the views, the money. You
Yeah.
could tell, but
Mm.
you sit here for hours and try to analyze, and it's not. You don't even care about the number of people. It
I
could be
don't
2
care.
people, and you
I
still
had
gonna
one
stay
person
on.
last week. I was good. Like,
Right.
I could just be me
So
on here. You know,
right. So let me drop down. I
well, we
just
got
wanted
to
to
get
give you
out.
your flowers.
Thank you. I appreciate
All
that.
right. Talk to you later. I'm in
Okay.
the chat in a minute.
Okay. let's finish playing this video. I hear Dave calling me. I think he hungry, y'all. He want his steak. All right, let's play this video. Shout out to her for sharing that, because it is not easy to share something like that and to be open with somebody and on a platform. You know what I mean? It's definitely not easy. You know, so for her to come up here and share that with us, I got to give her flowers, and I got to commend her, if anything. And I appreciate that so much. So thank you so much. So much. Let's continue playing this, and let's keep our prayers open.
Police believe that Nathan killed Tamiko and Marietta out of jealousy, anger, and
Matter of
revenge.
fact-
In his twisted little mind, Nathan felt that Tamiko was the cause of his relationship public,
Go back
but
a
through
little.
social media, the bodies were identified as those of Marietta and her mom, Tamiko. It appeared that Nathan had killed the two women with a semi-automatic shotgun and then went live on Instagram to confess. In the chilling footage, the killer was seen screaming and pacing while yelling he was sorry and that he tried to leave.
Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Ah! 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 Crazy dog. Crazy dog on the stage. I'm sorry. Ah! I'm sorry. Ah! It's crazy dog.
At one point, Nathan panned the camera to Tamiko's body, who was still breathing by then. She was seen slumped on the couch, covered in red, as she gripped on her phone. When Nathan saw that she was still alive, he told his viewers, "Oh, she's here. Call 911 again. Somehow she's still breathing." He then walked over to his dead girlfriend's body lying on a red puddle and called out to her, "Baby." In another part of the video, the weapon was seen on the couch next to Tamiko's
That's
body.
what it made
As
him
Nathan shouted,
realize
"I
what
had to
he'd
protect
done."
my life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Nathan then grabbed Marietta's face by her chin,
Probably
and you
didn't
could
know what
see
he
that her
was
left
doing.
eye was blasted out of her head. Another portion of the video showed Nathan holding the weapon as he walked around the room before ultimately ending his life. All three people were pronounced dead at the scene, and police began an investigation to figure out what happened. They collected the murder weapon, along with Nathan's phone and laptop. They also interviewed all the people who knew the couple, including neighbors, friends, family members, and co-workers. From the interviews, they learned that Nathan had a history of mental illness and substance abuse, and that he had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. They also learned that Nathan had been abusive and violent towards Marietta, and that he had threatened to kill her and her mother before. Nathan also had a pregnant girlfriend who was unaware of his relationship with Marietta. Police believe that Nathan killed Tamiko and Marietta out of jealousy, anger, and revenge. In his twisted little mind, Nathan felt that Tamiko was the cause of his relationship problems. He was jealous of her relationship with Marietta and felt that she was trying to take his girlfriend away from him. According to the police, Nathan knew that Tamiko never liked him and had tried to persuade Marietta to leave him, but Nathan wouldn't let her, as he couldn't imagine living without Marietta despite constantly cheating on her. So he came up with the plan to kill the mother and daughter as some kind of a twisted revenge plot for Tamiko's interfering in his relationship. When Tamiko arrived at the apartment that day, she found him waiting in the living room with a gun, and before she could even begin to process what was happening, he opened fire, hitting her multiple times. He then turned the gun on Marietta and fired at her several times. He then called 911 and confessed to his crime before making the gruesome video on Instagram. Shockingly, this case didn't receive a lot of coverage in the media like you'd expect, and it was even a struggle getting information about it. Someone known as Rosa Portia Media did post about Marietta's murder on Instagram, saying, "It is with great remorse that we report the loss of a University of Central Missouri, Marietta Matthews, 25. Matthews was shot and killed by her boyfriend Nathan James, who went by Lil Nate, who was also a former student at UCM. James shot Matthews and her mother with a semi-automatic shotgun around 5 p.m. today, and immediately after went live on Facebook displaying the gruesome act. The mother could still be seen breathing. James was still holding the gun and screaming crying. He kept repeating that he was sorry and he tried to leave. Swipe left to see his reaction from his live. Our thoughts and prayers are with Matthews' family and friends. The post was received with a lot of mixed reactions, with some people sending their condolences to the family, while others demanded that the post be taken down because of the graphic nature of the video. Someone said, "I'm just shook about this. She really didn't deserve this at all. SMH." Another one said, "Praying for the family and their spirits. Rest in peace, queens." Yet another person said, "Wow, I'm sick of this one. She wouldn't hurt a fly. Ladies, start leaving these no good as men alone, period. Mari, I pray you are in a much better place, and God, deal with this man who killed 2 innocent PPL with his very own hands. Praying for protection for every single woman under this post. Ladies, if you are an STL and want to join together for firearm protection classes, let me know. We need to be doing more to protect ourselves than trying to please a man and be his everything." A few people mentioned that they'd always felt that something was off with Nathan. "I can't believe it. When I was dealing with him, he was a little crazy. I had to leave him alone. I told him he needed help." Marietta and Tamiko were buried together in a private ceremony, attended by close family and friends. Sadly, cases of women being killed in domestic violence situations have become very common in the United States. In fact, the Bureau of Justice statistics show that up to 4,000 women are killed every year in the United States, either by a current or former intimate partner. And if you're one of those people who ask this toxic question, "Why didn't she leave?" you should know that up to 75% of the homicide happens around the time when the woman decides to leave their abuser. Research also shows a pattern of behavior with some of these perpetrators.
Post reporters analyzed data from 47 major U.S. cities. And in a closer examination of homicides in 5 of those cities, the reporters found that more than a third of the men implicated in a domestic killing were known to be potential threats. They had a previous restraining order against them or had been convicted of a domestic abuse or of a violent crime, including murder.
Restraining order. They kill me with that word, because what does that really do? They give us a restraining order and it does nothing. And sometimes when we ask for a restraining order, we have a hard time even getting it. They really need to fix the system. They really, really need to fix the system. Because I remember me trying to get a restraining order against my ex-husband, and it was so hard. Like, I could not get a order of police protection. It was very, very hard. And then when I did get the order of police protection, it didn't matter. He was still breaking into the house, whipping my ass anyway with his drunk self. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just something has to give.
And police told the Post reporters that attempted strangulation is a strong indicator that an abusive relationship could turn deadly.
Also, the availability of firearms has been a major contributing factor in the rise of domestic violence homicide.
The domestic violence victim is 450% more likely to die if there was a gun in the house. Now, leading experts across the nation, including right here in San Antonio, are working to find out more about the risks that guns pose to abuse victims.
And what makes things even more scary.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
Is that these abusers have now become so unhinged that they would even kill family members and friends who try to intervene. We've seen a lot of cases like this happen before.
We noticed that since 2015, we started seeing familicides. That is a shooting of family members in numbers, not just one individual in a household, and including children.
Just like Marietta, Crystal Williams, who was only 22 years old at the time, found herself in a DV situation with her boyfriend, Justine Dion Turner. The two had only been living together for 2 months, but she wanted to break up with him. Her mom, 46-year-old Danielle Sims, and her brother, 18-year-old Malachi Williams, tried to intervene and save her from the abusive boyfriend. On Sunday, September 6, 2020, they drove over to Dunwoody Glen Apartments in Atlanta to help Crystal move out. But as they they were leaving the apartment complex, Justine pulled his car in front of them, cutting them off, and then he came out of the car and pulled Crystal's out before firing multiple times at her. Crystal's mom, Danielle, tried to protect her daughter by using her body as a shield, but sadly, they both ended up being fatally injured. The crazed boyfriend then turned the gun on Crystal's brother, Malachi, and fired multiple times before fleeing the scene. The horrifying incident was captured on camera.
We received a 911 call of multiple people who had been shot.
Police responded to a triple shooting caught on camera outside the Dunwoody Glen apartment Sunday night, terrorizing the community.
When I showed up from work, the police officers were still here. And when I asked them, what happened, he said it had been a homicide.
The 3 victims were leaving the apartment complex when they were cut off by a car at the intersection of Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. That's when investigators believe 23-year-old Justin Turner blocked the car of his ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old Crystal Williams. Moments later, police say he got out and opened fire.
Miss Williams, Crystal Williams, was pronounced deceased at the scene. Her mother, Miss Sims, was transported to an area hospital where she later passed away.
Williams' 18-year-old brother and Sims' son survived the ambush. Plus, a juvenile in the car was not harmed.
I mean, I've been in this community for like 5 months, and everybody love everybody, get along with everybody, and I would never imagine that this would happen,
Malachi was wounded in the incident and had to undergo an emergency surgery on the arm. There was another teen in the car, but he crouched in the back seat and was fortunately not injured. Crystal was sadly pronounced dead at the scene, while her mother died later at the hospital.
A mother trying to protect her children with her life.
She wasn't kidding when she said she'd die for her children.
Sunday night, Danielle Sims used her body as a shield, trying to save her 22-year-old daughter, Crystal Williams, and 18-year-old son, Malachi Williams. That's what Malachi told me on the phone. He said his sister Crystal was arguing with her live-in boyfriend, 23-year-old Justin Dion Turner, and she was trying to get away from him to go home with her mother. And as Crystal and the family were driving out of the apartment complex, Malachi said Turner blocked them with his car.
What happened to a point where if the relationship doesn't work out, I go my way and you go your way? Why does it have to be so controlling, obsessive behavior where it comes to a point you want to take my life, my mama life, my brother life, and everybody else is around me, my friend's life and everybody else? Why can't you just be a man or be a woman and just move on? You know what I'm saying? Together? You know what I mean? Like, it comes to, what is going on? It's like, if I can't have you, nobody can. I mean, I've been told that before, so I know that shit is some real stuff. And thank God I have, oh my God, y'all don't know. I had not only the man that kept me hostage, but I had an ex-husband who was a psycho too, that was abusing me. And he said, I will kill you and nobody will find your body. Like, these men are wicked. And not only men, because we got some females out there too that do the same. Move on with your life. It's okay to be alone. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to be alone and know yourself again and get your shit together. It's okay. Because before I met Dave, I was alone for a while.
Nowhere, Justin cuts us off and comes out with a gun. And he pulls Crystal out at gunpoint. My mom.
Oh, come on.
It's outside. My mom is over her, using herself as a shield for my sister. And he was point blank. Like, he was right there. And he just shot. Boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, I guess he just pointed it at me. He just wanted me dead. I don't know how he missed.
Investigators spent the entire day and night searching for the crazed killer, and he was eventually arrested and charged with multiple charges, including 2 counts of murder. It was also revealed that he had a previous criminal record.
23-year-old Justin Dion Turner is locked up in the DeKalb County Jail, which you see here behind me. Officials say today at 1 p.m. he'll get his first opportunity to see a judge. Take a look at this surveillance video. It shows the moments leading up to when police say 23-year-old Justin Dion Turner shot and killed his ex-girlfriend, 22-year-old Crystal Williams, and her mother, 46-year-old Danielle Sims, Police say Turner cut off the family's vehicle with his car as they exited the Dunwoody Glen apartments Sunday night. That's when he gets out, gun in hand, shooting and killing the two women. According to investigators, also say he shot Williams's 18-year-old brother, who luckily survived the vicious attack.
Now he has the rest of his life to think about that bad decision in a moment of passion. And he ruined his life. He took other lives, and it's just senseless.
Meanwhile, family and friends came together to honor Crystal and her mom, Danielle. They described both women as having infectious energy that could dazzle a room.
My sister was the funny one. She was just the life of everything. I'm angry and sad. I've never felt that type of combo before. And it's immense anger and sadness. I'll never forgive him ever in my life.
Crystal's dad, Mark Williams, said this about his daughter. If you knew Crystal, you knew that she was not a pushover, but she was a loving person that always would tell you how she felt. She brought a spark, and she liked to have fun. Danielle was remembered as a caring, loving, and charismatic woman who was also known for her nurturing spirit. Justine appeared before a judge on Wednesday, September 9th, 2020, and was denied bail.
And accused of killing his girlfriend and her mother outside a Dunwoody apartment complex faced a judge today. No bond was set for Justin Turner because of the seriousness of his charges. He'll have to go before a Superior Court judge to determine that. The victim's family says Turner opened fire because Crystal Williams was trying to leave him. Her mother caught in the crossfire while trying to protect her daughter.
There's not been any new updates on this case, but I'm assuming that Justin is still locked up in jail awaiting trial. None of these women deserved what happened to them. Marietta and Crystal didn't deserve to die just because they wanted to get out of a toxic relationship, and their moms certainly didn't deserve to lose their lives while protecting their daughters. More needs to be done to help DV survivors get out of these toxic situations without endangering their lives or the lives of their loved ones. There should be harsher punishment for perpetrators of DV. If you or anyone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please know that there are resources out there to help. Leaving an abuser can be dangerous, so here are a few pieces of advice from experts on how you can go about it. Call a women's shelter or DV hotline for advice. Make the call at a safe time, when the abuser isn't around, or from a friend's house or other safe location. Pack an emergency bag that includes items you'll need when you leave, such as extra clothes and keys. Leave the bag in a safe place. Keep important personal papers, money, and prescription medications handy so that you can take them with you on short notice. Know exactly where you'll go and how you'll get there. An abuser can use technology to monitor your telephone and online communication and to track your location. If you're concerned for your safety, seek help. To maintain your privacy, ensure that you use your phone cautiously, as the abuser might intercept calls and listen to your conversations. An abusive partner might also use caller ID, check your cell phone, or search your phone billing records to see your call and texting history. So be careful about that. Avoid using the computer or laptop at home, as the abuser might use spyware to monitor your emails and the websites you visit. Another thing, ensure that you turn off the GPS devices on your car and phone, which the abuser might use to track you. If in an emergency, call 911 or your local emergency number or law enforcement agency. If you are in the U.S., you can also contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline online or at 1-800-7999-SAFE. 7233. What do you think about these two cases? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button.
Wow. And let me give you a few other tips. If you are in immediate danger, call 911 for help. If you are being abused, consider following these safety plan tips, please. During an argument, or if you feel tension building, avoid areas in your home where weapons might be available: the kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, or workshop. If there are weapons in your household, such as firearms, lock them up. Know where these safety exits from your homes are: windows, elevators, stairwells. Discuss the situations with a trusted neighbor if you can. Ask them to call 911 if they hear a disturbance. Find a code word to use when you need 911, when you need to call for the police. Use a code word that they would know that, oh, she or he needs help. Always keep a packed bag ready. Know where to go to be safe if you have to leave. Even if you don't really think you need to, still be ready. Open a bank account in your own name. Give an extra set of keys. Copies are important. Documents, extra clothing, some money to trusted friends or neighbors in case you have to leave quickly. Think about who your best resources are if you need to find a shelter or money. Have a cell phone or change on hand to make emergency calls. Things to take with you: birth certificate, driving license, military ID, social security card, passport, insurance documents, financials, money, credit cards, checkbooks, bank books, saving bonds, food stamps. Copy of your order of protection, your car registration, insurance papers, copy of your lease, debt to home, medical, your school records, your separation, your custody papers for your children if you're in custody battles, power of attorney, your will. Take your medications with you, your prescriptions, your keys to the home, your vehicle, your address book, telephone cards, clothing. Keep your order of protections with you at all times. Give your photocopy of your order protections of your children, your phone, your school, your employees, or your neighbors, as well as local police departments. Change the locks to your doors. Discuss safety plans with your children. It's very important. Inform children's schools about who has permission to pick your children up. Ask your neighbor to call the police if they see an abuser nearby. Show your neighbor a photo of the abuser and tell them about the order of protection. Ask someone to screen your telephone calls at home and ask them to do the same at work. Have someone escort you to your car or walk with you and other people if possible. If communication is necessary between you and your partner, meet them or him or her in a public place, or have a third party make contact and relay messages. Talk with people who you can provide you with support or domestic violence issues. Always call the police if you are concerned for your safety. And you can always call me, Brooklyn, if you have concern for your safety as well. You can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook Messenger, and some of you also have my phone number. The best contact for me is on Facebook Messenger. You can call me on Facebook Messenger and blow me up. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If you need to email me, this is my email address. If you need to Facebook me, this is my Facebook name. This is my business Facebook. On my business Facebook, if you need to contact me, Brooklynsquad True Crimes, hit me up on Messenger. I will be here, and you guys know it. So please be safe. Watch your wear. Be safe, and watch your awareness out there as well. Know who you're keeping in your home. Know who you're keeping in your bed. And know that I love you all. And with that, thank you all for joining. Thank you together for participating and joining up here and sharing what you share with us. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. My prayers are with you all, and I will be uploading some videos later. And with that, everyone have a blessed day. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, though, I will be interviewing a mother on her daughter being trafficking. And she's been missing for a long time. That would be tomorrow night. But until later, thank you, Kathy B. But until later, I might go live again later. We'll see. Okay? But I do have some uploads to do because we got a lot of missing cases out there as well. Peace. Be safe. Have a blessed day. Bye.